Hi guys, my name is Pierre Walters and I want to welcome you to Life Knocks number 6. And today I really want to talk about something that a lot of people don't think about. And it took me a while to discover this in my own life, and that is the importance of staying busy and why that is just so important, especially when you're going through a time in your life where you might be in between jobs, things might not be in the best of shape for you. Just staying busy really goes a long way. So how I boiled this down is that I discovered that people like to work with people who are busy. It's a very, very simple concept. And when I first started out in doing freelance work, as a freelance director and producer, someone would call me and say, "Hey, are you available to do this project, whatever?" And I would say, "Yes, I am available. Hire me, please, hire me." And that was okay for the first couple of times. But then I started realizing that the more available I was to people who needed, things just at any random time at their, any spontaneous moment, the more my value seemed to be diminished. I mean, it was almost as if, hey, we need something done. Oh, well, Pierre will do it. Oh, we need this thing shot. Oh, well, Pierre will do it. Or hey, we need this video made. Well, Pierre will do it. And the problem was that then I would say, okay, I would commit to it, and then they'd call and say, oh, we got to change the schedule because, we're not available. Something happened, we're not available on that day. Never mind my schedule. They just, I'm available, so they can reschedule to whenever they want. And I would just have to, and that would really mess me up because then I would have made other plans. And the bottom line is that I made the mistake of simply being too available. Now, this is leading into really what I want to talk about, but I just want to say that, you have to remember that people like to work with people who are busy. People respect people who are busy. If you're sitting on the couch twiddling your thumbs waiting to, do something, you don't have any, you're just waiting for the phone to ring, well, guess what? Your value is not very high, and people probably aren't going to respect that. You might still get the occasional call or two, but, no one is going to think of you as someone that is a high commodity. They're going to think of you as someone that's just, low value, very available, not a big deal. You need something done, they'll do it. And I guess when you're starting out, that's okay, but, as money becomes a little bit more important, and what I mean by that is as money becomes something that you begin to actually need and rely on, and, the exchange of fair value for your time becomes a little bit more important to you, then you'll realize that, you can't just always be available. In fact, I used to have this thing that I would always say, if I missed a phone call, I would always, when I would call the person back, I would always say, I'm sorry about that, I was in a meeting. Now, it wasn't always true. I wasn't always in a meeting. I sort of, justified that by saying, well, I could be in a meeting with anybody. You don't know who I'm in a meeting with. I could be in a meeting with myself. I could be in a meeting with my pillow. I could be sleeping. I don't know. But I would always answer the phone and say, you know what, I'm sorry about that. I was in a meeting. How can I help you? Because I wanted to convey to whomever it was that was calling, especially if it was a potential client, that, you know what, I'm busy. I am busy. I am valued. Okay? I have value. So when I started to begin to work with other producers, I would begin to see a difference. There would be some producers who would, who would, they would miss my call, and then when they returned the call to me, they would say, oh, hey, sorry about that, I was busy, or hey, sorry about that, I missed your call, what's up? And that was all cool and everything, but what wasn't cool was when someone would call and say, hey, sorry about that, I saw that you called, but, I was playing a video game, or I was, reading a book, or I was going for a walk. I mean, just things like that. It was almost like I would prefer someone to tell me that they were simply busy, that they were simply in a meeting, that they were occupied doing something and missed my call because of that, as opposed to you were, just sitting on your couch twiddling your thumbs. Okay, that being said, I mean, that's kind of besides the point, but that being said, what's really the hot item here is that when you're in between jobs, as a freelance artist, I'm on project, and then there's usually a little space in between, and then I'm on another project. And during that space in between, which could be a couple days, it could be months, just depending on, life, it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to wonder, oh my goodness, where's my next job going to come from? Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do. Bills, I'm running out of money. It's almost time to pay bills again. And what I discovered was the thing that really helped me get my mind out of that mishmash, out of that negativity, and keep myself in a motivated, encouraged state was to just stay busy. And that meant for me, I would go and produce independent films. And I still do. I would go and work on somebody else's independent film. I would go and write a script or go be in a play, do some acting for a little bit. If I had a lull in between jobs, I would go and do something that if anyone at any time were to contact me and say, hey Pierre, what are you up to, that I could always say to them, hey, I'm working on a project. Would you like to come to the set? Would you like to come to a meeting? Would you like to come to the stage, the theater? Something, just something, so that I was always doing something, and if anybody at any time ever contacted me, I could always say, hey, I'm doing such and such, why don't you come on down and visit me? Because, I believe that was how I conveyed that, hey, you know what, I have value. I may be in between paying jobs right now, but that doesn't mean my value has decreased. I am still out there, I am still being useful, and I am still putting my skills to use. The ironic thing is that just living that way in my life has opened up so many doors. I have gotten so many job opportunities just because when I was in a lull, someone would call and I would say, oh, I'm working on an independent film right now. Would you like to come to the set? And we can chat over lunch. And they would come to the set, they would see what we were up to, and they would say, hey, you know what? Well, I was calling because I have this commercial that I'm doing that I need to have shot. Would you like to do it? I mean, obviously you're busy. And, someone of your expertise would love it. People would just take me more seriously, and I would get so many opportunities. I remember one time I went to a worship service, actually, and actually it's pretty funny. I went to I was in between jobs, and I went to a worship service, and the people that were hosting the worship service was called Gateway Fellowship, hosted by WGTS 91.9 FM. The chaplain, Terry Johnson, he called me up to the stage and said, hey Pierre, how you doing? I said, hey, I'm doing all right, I'm doing okay, I'm just here to praise God. I'm just staying motivated. And he was like, guess what, I have a project for you. And bam, next couple months, that was what I was working on. I mean, so the point of the matter is to stay focused, stay out there, stay involved, stay busy. If somebody calls you and you missed the call, answer it. Tell them you were in a meeting. Tell them you were doing something. Just, live a lifestyle that conveys to everyone, all of your colleagues, potential clients, anyone, that you are a busy person, you are involved, you are in demand, you are applying your skills, you are constantly involved in something. And I guarantee it, if you do that in your life, when you hit, you will thank God for the time that you are in between paying jobs, because those are the times when you really get to focus on other projects that you probably would not have been able to. And those are the times when you can accomplish so much for yourself, for your brand, and for other people, and you can be of real service when you're in between projects. And people will really take notice of that, and they will respect you for it. And let me tell you something, people like to work with people who are busy, but people like to work with people they respect.